Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Liam Bennett. I'm the owner of Solvus Media, a video production company that services the entire United States. I wanted to give a brief breakdown of some of the costs associated with video production for businesses in all levels. In this video, I'm going to be focused mostly on corporate video production, so video production that's not TV commercials. And so I can kind of break down the price point of on-location production and give you kind of an idea of how much that would cost, just flat rate for each individual. So essentially on a corporate video shoot, it depends on the company and it depends on the competence of the cinematographer director. Usually what you're going to find is someone who is kind of a cinematographer director hybrid. So somebody with a full suite of gear with all the cameras, all the equipment, and the ability to direct the shoot. In fact, I do this a lot of the time. I'll just be the cinematographer director for another company. If they need a cinematographer director, they'll come to me, they'll get something done, and then you would usually bring an assistant and maybe a second assistant or in hair and makeup. It really depends on the competency of the cinematographer director, and the on-location cost is going to be that of the cinematographer's assistant, and then hair and makeup if needed. And then on top of that, sometimes even a second production assistant as well. So in terms of cost, on-location cost, just the bare cost before the production company makes any money, a really good cinematographer director, kind of hybrid, their rates usually vary from around $3,000 to $5,000, if not a little bit more. My daily rate's within that range. And it takes a real experienced vet to get stuff done right at that level, because you need somebody to understand the full scope of the production. And then an assistant usually can range from $500 to $1,000, and another assistant similar rate, if not an intern, so it could be a little bit cheaper there. Hair and makeup is usually around $650, but it can vary depending on the season. If you're filming something in the summer, for example, a lot of the times they're really booked up because of weddings. So it really depends on when the season is and what their availability is. Usually talking about on location, anywhere from $4,000 a day to a little bit over $7,000. Somewhere in that range is usually the raw cost of on location filming for corporate video for a full day. So that's just the on location crew cost. That's minus the production costs of pre-production, what the production house takes away from that, as well as the post-production fee, which is editing. The rates of pre-production and post-production costs can vary tremendously depending on how good the company is and the quality of work that they've put out there. A lot of the time it's because a video is written 3 times technically. It's written in pre-production, which is writing and scripting and storyboard. It's written a little bit during production, which is essentially shot selection and the way an interview would usually go if you're doing more of a story-driven video, for example, or maybe even if you're doing a product video, where the product takes you. And so within that, the scope of the project really determines how long the editor is going to work on the project. Usually the editors in-house editors are the unsung hero of any video project, and they are completely undervalued. You can have a really mediocre story and a really mediocre interview, but if you have a great editor, they can take that, like something that's just mid, and they could take it to a whole new level. And conversely, if you have a bad editor, they could take something that's like bomb, that's awesome, and completely screw it up. It just really depends on how good the editor is. You can expect an equivocal rate around 125 to 150 an hour, if not a little bit more. On the lower end, it's usually around 50 to 85, but that's more for lower end corporate video stuff that's not necessarily very creative or something that's going to drive awareness or conversions. At the same time, that's usually what the pre-production costs are as well. So if you spend a couple hours working on writing and initial pre-production meetings with a company, that's usually around the cost that you're going to be looking at as well. All in, usually for, let's just say a testimonial video, for example, those prices usually are around $7,000 a video. For a brand video, that is a little bit more. Usually around $15,000 to $20,000 for a video like that. Although usually videos can range a little bit above $20,000 depending on the scope. And from that shoot, you're going to get a lot of B-roll out of that, so you can chop that up creatively with an editor and get a bunch of different types of videos off of that. Pre-roll ads, 30-second ads, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, anything on Facebook advertising. You're going to get a lot of ad creative out of just one video and one shoot. So really, you're looking kind of in the $7,000 to $20,000 range for really high quality video production.